So, Pretrip Inspection Letter C, la C es la pura trailer, toda la trailer completa. Okay, so vamos a comenzar. Arriba donde tenemos clearance lights. Clearance lights properly mounted, secure, not cracked, not broken, proper color example, and no missing hardware. Our headboard. Our headboard panels are properly mounted, secure. There's no missing rivets, no missing hardware, and well mounted to the front of our trailer. Our emergency airline. Our emergency airline is properly mounted, secure. It's not cut, torn, or frayed. It's not ripped, and it has no air leaks. Our emergency gland hinge coupling connection are properly mounted, secure. Not cracked, not broken. Has a rubber seal between them, and no air leaks. Our electrical line is properly mounted, secure. It's not cut, torn, or frayed, and it has no exposed wires. It's well mounted and connected to the housing and secured in place with our pigtail. Our service airline. Our service airline is properly mounted, secure. It's not cut, torn, or frayed. It's not ripped, and it has no air leaks. Our service glide hinge and coupling connection are properly mounted, secure. Not cracked, not broken. Has a rubber seal between them, and there's no air leaks. All three lines are well connected and secured in place on this end. Make sure there's no air leaks and no exposed wires, and they're well connected to the tractor. Make sure that all three lines are long enough to connect to the trailer, but short enough to have a proper clearance away from the catwalk in front. Our sidewall panels. Make sure that our sidewall panels are properly mounted, secure. There's no missing rivets, there's no missing panels. Make sure they're well mounted to the trailer. Also make sure we have 50% DO2 reflector on the side skirt of the trailer. Now, fifth one, apron. Make sure that our apron's properly mounted, secure. It's not bent, it's not cracked, it's not broken, no illegal welds, and well mounted to the trailer. Skid plate. Make sure that our skid plate's properly mounted, secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken, no illegal welds. Between our apron and the skid plate, there's no gap or space between them. Pivot pin. Make sure that our pivot pin's properly mounted, secure, not bent, cracked, or broken, and well greased and secured in place and holds the skid plate. Platform. Platform is properly mounted, secure. It's not bent, it's not cracked, it's not broken, no illegal welds, and well greased. The platform gives us the proper clearance we need so that the fifth wheel can pivot forward and backwards. Mounting bolts. Make sure that our mounting bolts are properly mounted, secure. Not cracked, not broken, have no rust trails, no shiny threads, or signs of loose or missing hardware. Release arm. Make sure that our release arm is properly mounted, secure. Make sure that it remains closed while connected to the trailer. The function it has is to open and close locking jaws, and it's not bent, cracked, or broken. Kingpin. Make sure that our kingpin is properly mounted and secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken, no illegal welds, and well greased. My locking jaws. Make sure that my locking jaws are properly mounted and secure. They're not bent, cracked, or broken. There's no illegal welds, and they're well greased. Okay? And make sure they remain closed while connected to the trailer at all times. Okay? Landing gear. Make sure that my landing gear is properly mounted and secure. It's not bent, it's not cracked, it's not broken, and it has no missing hardware. Our landing gear, make sure that it's well mounted to the trailer. Okay. Also make sure that our landing gear handle is stored away properly when it's not being used. It's not bent, cracked, or broken. It's in neutral position, but it has a high speed and a low speed. Our landing gear shoes, make sure they're properly mounted and secure. And make sure they're fully raised and stored away properly when not being used. And they're present, they're not cracked or broken, and have missing hardware. Underneath our trailer, we have our trailer cross members. Make sure that our trailer cross members are properly mounted and secure. Not bent, not cracked, not broken, and no illegal welds. No missing hardware. Our trailer floor. Make sure that our trailer floor is properly mounted and secure. There's no missing panels. They're not cracked, not broken, or rotten, or missing hardware. Our airlines. Make sure that our airlines are properly mounted and secure. They're not cut, not torn, not frayed, no rips, and no exposed air leaks or wires. Our dual tires. Make sure that our dual tires have a thread depth of 232 minimum. Make sure they're both the same size. And also make sure that your air pressure is between 100 and 110, depending on the manufacturer. Make sure between your dual tires there is no debris. Make sure that your butt rims have no gap, no space between them, and they're not bent, cracked, or broken, or illegal welds. Make sure that on the face and sidewall there's no nails, no screws, cuts, tears, or freight. There's no abrasions or air leaks. My rim. Make sure that the rim is properly mounted and secure. It's not bent, cracked, or broken, and no illegal welds. Lug nuts. Make sure that our lug nuts are properly mounted and secure, not cracked, not broken, have no rust trails or shiny threads to indicate loose or missing hardware. Hub oil seal. Make sure that our hub oil seal is properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, it's not broken, it has no missing hardware, it has no oil leaks, and it's filled to the proper oil level. Our valve stem and cap. Make sure that our valve stem and our cap are properly mounted and secure. Make sure that the cap and the stem are present. Make sure there's no air leaks and our air pressure is between 100 and 110, depending on the manufacturer of the tire. Our vehicle is ABS equipped, so we have a light. Make sure that it's properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, not broken. Proper color is amber. Clearance light. Make sure that our clearance light is properly mounted and secure. It's not cracked, it's not broken, and proper color is red. Now we're going to get underneath and face the actual back portion of the actual trailer. So, trailer frame. Trailer frame is properly mounted and secure. It's not bent, it's not cracked, it's not broken, and no illegal welds. Spring mount. It's properly mounted and secure. It's not bent, not cracked, not broken, and no illegal welds, no missing hardware. The manufacturer welds are still good. Leaf spring. Leaf spring is properly mounted and secure, not bent, cracked, or broken, no illegal welds. Torque rod. Torque rod is properly mounted and secure, not bent, cracked, or broken, no illegal welds, and no missing hardware. U-bolts. Make sure they're properly mounted and secure. They're not cracked, not broken. There's no rust trails or shiny threads to indicate loose or missing hardware. Trailer axle. Trailer axle is properly mounted and secure, not bent, cracked, or broken. Make sure it has no grease or oil leaks and it's properly filled. Brake system. Brake chamber properly mounted and secure, not bent, not cracked, not broken, no missing hardware, and no air leaks. Brake chamber has air lines. Make sure that the air lines are both properly mounted and secure. They're not cut, torn, or frayed, or ripped, and there's no air leaks. ABS. Make sure that my ABS electrical wires are properly mounted and secure. It's not cut, torn, or frayed, and it has no exposed wires. My push rod and slack adjuster. Make sure that my push rod and slack adjuster are both properly mounted and secure. Not bent, cracked, or broken, well greased, and has no more than 1 inch of play with your brakes released. The brake drum and the brake shoes. Make sure that the brake drum and brake shoes are properly mounted and secure. They're not cracked, they're not broken, there's no grease or oil leaks. We have minimal 1/4 of brake lining material, which is required in order to be on the road. We're going to start with the top of our trailer. Make sure that clearance lights are properly mounted and secure. They're not cracked, not broken, and proper color is red, and no missing hardware. Our trailer door. Make sure that our trailer door opens and closes properly. It has no missing rivets and no missing hardware. And make sure that it has 100% DOT reflector on the door or bumper in the back. The door ties are properly mounted and secure, and there's no missing hardware. The tail lights are properly mounted and secure. They're not cracked, not broken. Proper color is red. They have a turning signal, four-way flasher, a brake light, and a daytime running light. Our splash guard. Our splash guard, make sure that it's properly mounted and secure. It's not cut, torn, or frayed. It has a proper clearance of 6 to 8 inches off the ground. It's well mounted to the bracket and no missing hardware. That concludes our pre-trip inspection letter C.